Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started with Open Mic Live. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know that public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESINet goes beyond industry standards, not only I3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Here in Greenville County, we have 8 different places where a 911 call can be answered.
It is the largest county in South Carolina. It's a challenge.
The type of information that a telecommunicator gets from Radius Plus is location-based technology. You can see where the caller is, if they have a medical issue, if they speak a different language. They're immediately able to text to that caller in their native language. It reduces response times because it immediately gets first responders where they need to be.
Carbyne, it's multimedia. You can get text, translate to whatever language, getting away with the legacy equipment and going into a cloud-based solution.
It's the first time in U.S. history that we have an EZNet through cloud-native call handling.
As a police officer, to have the victim go video, that's unheard of.
You're getting upgrades every month, not every year.
To schedule your free Carbyne demo, please visit carbyne.com/WTT.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine.
Yo, what is going on? Once again, this is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are getting started here for Open Mic Live. It is June 23rd. Holy shit. June 23rd. Where's this month going? That's just like May. Man, it just kind of blinked and bam, it was gone. But we're here. We're here now. And we're about to get started. And this live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital Rapid Deploy as well as Carbyne. And a big shout out to patrons as always. Thank you so very much for everything. I wouldn't be able to do everything that I do if it wasn't for all of you, especially those that are here, that are watching, listening, sharing, and supporting. So thank you so very much. How are you feeling? Let's do a roll call. Want to make sure everything is working right. I had my power go out a couple times earlier today. Earlier in the afternoon, it blipped. And it was one of those moments where, you're working on something online and it's supposed to autosave, but it didn't, which sucked because everything went out and then turned right back on, which was good. And some of the stuff was restored, but the rest of it didn't do it. So I was screwed there for a moment. So that sucked. And then I finished all like the main stuff that I was doing. And then it happened again, but the power went out for a while. I was just going outside to throw something in the garbage. And one of my neighbors across the street goes, hey, yo, did your power go out? I was like, yeah, man. It was like yeah, I think the whole area went out. And sure enough, ended up getting a text message from the power company saying something to the effect of, you might be having some issues with your power. We just want you to know that it's out. You're screwed for the moment. And it ended up being fine. It ended up coming back. It was but still, man, I was like, what the hell is going on? So, with all of that, everything seems to be working. I've got a new audio interface, which is pretty badass. It's the second version of the one that I had. It's a Rodecaster Pro 2. And it's pretty sweet. Earlier today, I had to test it because there were some issues that were going on, but everything seems good. Everything it sounds good. I see a few people jumping in here. Let me know how things sound. And I see a few people here already doing what we usually do on Thursday. We check in with each other because we're already towards the end of the week, right? And I want to see how everyone is doing. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, and 10 being amazing, how are you feeling? I'm coming in at like a 7, 8. It's been a busy week. Dealing with some trolls, but it's okay. Things are good. I'm fine. For a lot of people who commented on my post where I said I just needed a break a little bit from my personal Facebook, I appreciate those who reached out. I appreciate those who commented about shovels. Whoa. I will decline from the shovel stuff. I appreciate it, but that's not necessary. It's not needed. But I do love that you have my back. So thank you. I love you all. It was not what I expected to see. It was like, you're awesome. This is cool. This. And then it got dark. I was like, oh. But thank you for the support. It was really good. And I think I said roll call already. So Shannon is here. I'm at a 6. I'm call taking tonight, and they are actively trying to take my Jesus tonight. I can just imagine the types of calls that are coming in and such, especially with that at the end of that sentence, because shit's getting crazy. Whether it be high priority complaints or just like, huh? What? Really? Like, is that what you're calling about? You know what I'm talking about. And then Yasmin, what is going on, my friend? At an 8. It's not been too bad of a night so far. Excellent. That is good. That is good. Well, hopefully, with some of the stories that I'm going to be sharing, and if anyone has any funny 911 stories, please throw them in the comments. Dawn, you made it. Hello, hello. Please throw them in the comments, and as always, I will read them. A lot of times verbatim. Even if my mom is in the audience, it'll still happen. So, yes. So there's that. I want to see. I don't remember if I ended up saving them or not. But I want to look really quick because a good friend of mine sent me a couple pictures from the Imagine Listening session a couple weeks ago, or a week ago, a week ago. Yeah, holy cow! This time is just flying. So I want to see if I have them here, or if I'm able to pull them over, just so that. Okay, I might be able to do this. So hold on just a second. What I want to do is I want to take these couple pictures, okay, and I want to put them together. And just as an example of what people can look forward to with the open mic from that session. So let me see if I can pull these up. I was having some issue with the platform earlier. Let me look back here really quick. Tim, what's going on? Davine, hello. I'm at a 6. I've been sick for over a week. Damn, I hope you feel better. Seriously, I hope you feel better. Because in general, man, being sick sucks. You think you're doing good, right? This I don't know about you, but this is how it works for me sometimes. Like, I'll feel like shit. I'm like, I feel it. Like, you can feel it when you're starting to get sick, right? And then the next day, oh, maybe it was nothing, and you're fine. And then later on in the day, it's like, oof, just fucking pimp smacks you. And you're like, oh, you're like, damn it. And then you're just crazy sick, and it sucks. Sucks balls. So I feel you. I hope you feel better fast. Don says I'm at like a 6. Shift just starting. We'll see how that goes. Chad, what is going on? Mike saying I'm off tonight. I'm a 10. Yeah, all right. Already a 10. That is good. All right, let me see. Hopefully I can share this picture, because like I said, for some reason earlier today it was just being an asshole. Oh, it's working. Okay, so check it out. So my friend Julie, she sent me a couple pictures on Messenger, and she goes, I saw these pictures somewhere else and I don't think you were tagged in them, so I wanted to share them with you. So this picture and the next picture is during the open mic spot from the National Nina Conference. Look at the look on my face. That is definitely a what the fuck look, right? or that might have been actually when the story that was being told about the hammer being stuck up a person's ass. This story might have been the one where my face is like that, like, oh. Oh man, Tim is at a 9. Awesome. Good. So just from this picture alone, the stories that are going to be on that episode, oh my, you're going to love it. It is going to be excellent. There were a lot of great stories that were shared. The only thing that kind of sucks is the fact that, so every session is recorded, right? So I have to wait until all of those recordings are given to Nina, and then they put them out there, and then I can get that recording. I think I have to pay for the recording. Usually I take my own equipment so that I can record the session, but I didn't have it. Well, they didn't have the right connector there, so I couldn't get it. But either way, I want to show you this next picture really quick, because this next picture is I want you, okay? I want all of you to critique this picture and tell me what you think about it, 1, and 2, how crazy of a story you think it was that I was hearing during that time, okay? Here we go. Oh, dude, look at that. Oh, are you kidding me right now? So there you go. Right there is another look from the open mic portion of Imagine Listening at National Nina. I do not know what story this one was from, but as you can see the look on my face, it's gonna be a good one, man. Oh shit. And you can even guess, like, what type of story do you think we're hearing? Because, dude, the amount of stories. Oh, Tim says, I remember that face though. The amount of stories. Okay, let me switch this here really quick. There we go. That's a little better. The amount of stories that were being shared that had to do with men who were just being straight up dumbasses. Like, whoa. Serious? Like, dudes are stupid, man. Like, we're dumbasses. I'm sure dudes don't mean to be, but whoa. Oh man, Shannon says that's the face when someone takes my Jesus. Oh shit. Bridget, what's going on, Bridget? She says, was that the gerbil? I don't know. Oh man, my eyes are starting to burn. Oh, please don't sting too much. I gotta make it through. That's why I usually wear contacts when I'm sitting in here, because it gets real dry. And I have dry eye as it is, and my eyes will just start stinging and get watery really bad. So that's what's going on right now. I'm battling it. Devine says, it must have been awful. That's a definite holy shit face. Mike says, I was there. Male Anatomy ruled that show. Right? Yes. And definitely not in it was all like Keanu Reeves. Whoa. Because again, every dude in this story, like, stupid, very stupid. I think what this is, for those who were there, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Well, maybe not exactly, but you might remember the story. But I'm pretty sure this look right here was from, hold on a minute. See, Don says dry eye sucks. My doc says it's the worst case he's ever seen. James, what's going on, man? And Don says looking at 8 screens for 12 hours doesn't help. For real, dude. Yeah, no, I believe it. Little LaCroix here. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning, but please, as always, share this broadcast to your feed or your favorite dispatching page, and make sure to throw in some reactions. The more reactions that come in and everything, the more people get to see that this broadcast is going on. So please and thank you. I appreciate it more than you know. So the look on this face, the look on my face in the picture there, I'm pretty sure this was when someone was sharing the story. This one is actually about a female, and she was caught shoplifting, and I'm trying to remember all the details, but the gist of it really is that when they were searching her in one specific spot, many items were falling out. Right. And I think that look was because of the stuff that they said was falling out of her. And Devine goes, oh my gosh, for real. Yes. No. Now you know why I'm making, oops, right there. Why I'm making that look is because of that. Because the amount of stuff and the type of stuff that was falling out of her. They said that there was also like this magnetic, almost like a speaker or something. And Tim says hundreds of dollars worth. Yes. You're right. Yes. And at the end, I made the comment of, damn, that shit was like Mary Poppins' bag. Because stuff just kept coming out, man. Oh shit. You know, that would be a funny skit to do. Yes, Tim, yes. Even a speaker was in there. There was a speaker in there, and it was magnetic because it was holding some of the stuff in there, if I remember correctly. And Yasmin is throwing out a barf emoji. You are correct. Yes. No, definitely. But that would be a funny skit though, right? If Mary Poppins was arrested and they take her to jail and they're searching her, but it's not her bag where everything is falling out. That would be Mary Poppins after, like, she lost her job. She lost her job and, like, started doing meth or something. Mary Mary Poppin Mary Poppin pills. Poppin drugs, man. Oh. That is so bad. But yes, Shannon goes, Mary Poppin meth. Coming to Disney Plus October 31st. That would be a new Disney Plus show. Oh, geez. That would be funny. Shannon says, I'd pay to see that on Disney. Right? Yeah, dude. That would be some shit right there. It could almost be like like Cops, right? It could be like Live PD, where you've got different Disney characters who are on the police force, right? And they're arresting different characters, and in this one episode, it's Mary Poppins, but she's all methed out. Oh my god. Now that is a Disney Plus show that I would love to watch. That would be awesome. Disney pretty much owns everything, man. So I apologize, Disney. Don't do anything to me. Oh man, this is crazy. Devine says, I'm hearing the Mary Poppins song with a visual of all that stuff falling out. Oh man. Oh, that's the best. But I'm pretty sure that this picture right here was from that story, because that was crazy, man. Let's see. Shannon says, to be honest, I think I've talked to Meth Mouth Mary tonight. Oh man. Oh. Oh, dude. Oh, wow. It continues. Let's see. What is going on, Amanda? What is going on? This whole scenario is messed up, but it's funny, man. Thank you all for participating. What other Disney characters would be like funny shit like that for something to happen? I don't know. I can't think right now, but the Mary Poppins thing is the best. That is the best. All right, I'm going to remove this picture. I'm going to share these pictures later, though, but I wanted to show all of you both of these pictures because this is just a glimpse of what it was like in that room. Wait, what? Amanda says, trying to keep the Bobcats at bay. Yasmin says, that face should be your next t-shirt. Dude. I could do it. Oh, I'm going to have to do that. Put it right here. Just me like. Thank you, Yasmin. That would be funny shit. And Shannon says Snow White. So the new Disney Plus show would be Pure as the Driven Snow White. Set in the 70s for some disco shit. Oh my god. And she's she's the head of this whole like organization, and the dwarfs are just like her toadies, right? They're the ones on the street selling shit and collecting money. Coming this winter on Disney Plus, Pure is the Driven Snow White. Oh man. Wow. Oh, this is so good. Again, thank you very much for joining in and really talking about these scenarios, because this would be funny shit, especially you're adding like the public safety aspect into it, but making it funny and with these characters that are beloved, right? How crazy would it be for Cruella de Vil to be like the sane one? She'd be like the chief of police. Oh man. Chief of Police DeVille. James says a little sugar helps the medicine go down. Yep. Just as pure as the Driven Snow White. Shannon says, my caller just said, yeah, I have a boy pulling up on me talking shit. I love this town. Man. That is, that's crazy. That's funny too. Zach, welcome. For Zach. Okay. I have them right here. They're in, let me close this picture. Right here. They're all in this box, dude. So for everyone who is watching right now who have been asking about the Sons of Dispatch hats, Daughters of Dispatch, I Am 911, they're going on the store by this coming Monday, okay? I will have them up on the store. I know a lot of you have been asking about it, and as soon as I get them on there, I'm going to throw the links out, but for sure, by this coming Monday, they will be on the store, and you'll be able to order from there. Tim got his. And yes, Zach, there's plenty of them there. So everybody will, those who are wanting to buy and stuff, they'll get a chance to do so. Plus, Shannon, who's up in this piece as well, Shannon was a winner of an I Am 911 snapback from the giveaway that I did when I was out in for Nashville. Or Nashville, not Nashville. What am I talking about? Louisville. It was one of the Villes. Louisville. So, for those who won the hats from the giveaways, those are going to be going out as well. I'm just waiting for some of the other folks who ended up winning to contact me. And there were 30, and I only have 10. So I'm just waiting for everybody so I can send them all out at the same time. But Shannon, excellent work, and everyone else who won. And thank you to Rapid Deploy for sponsoring that giveaway as well. We did that as a partnership. So Tina, what is going on? Tina's up in this piece. Welcome. And we've been having fun already. So for those who are jumping in, we were just going over a scenario of Mary Poppins being a shoplifter and everything not being in her bag, but her box. And Snow White being like a cocaine kingpin or queenpin, if you will. Oh man, it's so crazy. So crazy. So yeah, we were going over all those scenarios, but there are some stories here that I do want to share. And also, again, if you have any funny 911 stories, please throw them in the comments. But there's some stories that I had meant to go over these past couple weeks. Like there were so many stories, and all of you were being so engaging and everything, which I love so very much. Thank you so much. But I wanted to share some of these. And also, if I didn't mention, episode 446 has gone out. Episode 447 is being recorded tomorrow and will go out the following week. And then on July 6th, episode 448 will end up going out. And that's with Ashley, who's the founder of the Raspy Dispatcher. It was so awesome to talk to her. It was so much fun. Make sure to check her out and everything she's doing as well. Again, it's the Raspy Dispatcher, and this is raspydispatcher.com. So she's got a lot of good content and everything else going on. And then Taylor, what is going on, yo? Welcome. And yeah, there's episode after episode after episode that's coming up, and I have others locked in to record even more. I mean, this is a weekly show, okay? So I say all of these, and yes, they're all coming in, but they go out, each week and stuff. And then of course the sponsors have exclusive episodes, which basically is them, folks that they know that they would like to have highlighted. So, those come in as well. But also to let all of you know, if you would like to share your story, if you've never been on the podcast before, I would love to have you. I would love to share your story. And if you're a director, supervisor, or whatever, and there are folks that you work with that you would like to get, have a spotlight on to share their story, send them over. WTTpodcast@gmail.com. Just send them over, and we'll schedule an episode, and we'll go and we'll do this. That's what the show is all about, is sharing dispatch stories and highlighting those that they're all powerful, impactful stories. They're ones that need to get out there. So there it is. There's that invitation. So please get them out there. Also, you can go to withinthetrenches.net and then just click on podcasts, and there's information on there as well. So this first story that I want to share. Growing up, well, there's two of them here. That's kind of a growing up type stories. And I want to know from all of you as well, from a young age, like, growing up, did your parents allow you to watch certain movies? Let's say you're like 7 years old. Were you allowed to watch rated R movies? Were you allowed to watch scary movies? And there's a reason for this, and I that's why I'm asking and stuff, because I also find it fascinating. Like, everyone's personal stories, how you grew up and everything is fascinating to me. Like, I love learning about people. So that's why I ask this stuff at times, because I want to compare, I want to relate. So how about this? Growing up, when you were a kid, what is a movie that you saw that you probably should not have watched during that time? Like, during the time that you were growing up, what is something that you watched that looking back at it now, maybe you should not have? So for me, Devine says The Birds. Oh shit. Right. Yes. Yeah. So there's one right there, right? Alfred Hitchcock stuff. Growing up, for me, and my siblings as well. So the way our parents brought us up. Oh, hold on. Let me see here. Shannon says, "Oh yeah, my mom's hated it, but my dad was like, movie night, fam. LOL." I'd always be watching rated R movies with him. There you go. Mike says Porky's. Yep, that's one. And Tim says It. Yes, the original It, right? Okay, this is good. Keep on coming. Tina says, no, it was BS. I couldn't even watch Hawaii Five-0. I'd see the surfer in the big wave, and that was it. Go to bed, Tina. Oh, that sucks, dude. So, like, for me, for my siblings and I, our parents never kept us from things like that. Like they didn't and they're, pretty strong Catholics. And um but they still didn't hide any of that stuff from us. They allowed us to watch. Basically the way they put it. And of course, if it was something that they really felt like we should not be looking at, they would tell us to turn around or cover our eyes, cover our ears or whatever. Close our eyes and cover our ears. Something like that, right? Okay, so that's how it would go down. But the majority of the time, it was kind of a free for all, in the sense that we were allowed to sit there and we could watch, but they would tell us, like, Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's go with that. Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. They would tell us, this is just a movie. There are crazy people out there that do crazy things, but what you're watching is just a movie. But if you feel scared, close your eyes or turn your head. And I thank them for that, because I love horror movies. Like, that's my favorite genre, is horror. And I can watch those. And thinking about it as an adult now, I mean, I'm 41 years old, and I think, damn, I probably should not have been watching those, but I did. And I'm looking up here. Let's see. James says, I was able to watch the final episode of MASH. Devine says Twilight Zone. So yes, Twilight Zone was some shit, right? Dude. But those episodes are good. Tina says, don't worry, I got caught up as soon as possible. Oh, there you go. That's good then. So yeah, we would watch stuff. And I remember that. So I'm, even as a kid, I loved wearing ball caps. And the little, like, the hat ball caps have the 4 holes up there so that it can breathe, your head can breathe. When they would tell me to cover my eyes, I would get my hat and cover my face, but I would peer through one of the holes so that I could continue watching. And they'd say, can you see? And I would say, no, I can't see, yet I'm watching through that little hole. It was the funniest thing, man. And that's why I ask about this stuff with all of you, because these are personal stories, and they're funny. And that's what we're doing here. Like, it's open mic. Of course, we're going to share funny 911 stories, but the personal stories are good too, because we get to reflect and think back, and just talk it out. This is good stuff. This is a form of healing and closure, in just sharing stories, whether it be public safety or this funny personal shit that we're talking about right now, which is why I love doing this stuff with all of you each week. It's so much fun. Shannon says, one movie that messed me up for a very long time was Mars Attacks. Like, it messed me up for no reason. Okay, so I'm trying to remember how old I was now, maybe 10 or so. And to what Tim was saying, the movie It, the original one. So that movie, of course, is a book. It's the movie is based off of Stephen King's book, which, amazing author. I love that dude. Books are awesome and creepy, and I love it. But as a kid watching It, dude, Tim Curry, I ain't got shit on Tim Curry, man. Tim Curry is amazing. And as Pennywise the Clown, ooh. Even when you see him as the butler on Clue and he smiles, you see Pennywise. So I remember watching that movie and just being like tripped out, like, oh my God, because he's frightening, right? He's terrifying. So I say this because my mom, well, she doesn't so much now, but if you know the famous clown Emmett Kelly, my mom collected a lot of Emmett Kelly figurines. So imagine this. We're in my house that a lot of you know that I grew up in is fully haunted because it used to be an old funeral home. and we're in the living room, and we are watching it. And in the living room is this huge cabinet and you know, shelves and everything, and it's full of clowns, man. Clowns and porcelain dolls. So we're sitting there watching it, and you turn around and there's all those clowns and porcelain dolls just staring at you, waiting for you to go to sleep. But no shit, dude. Like, I'm laughing, but I'm pretty sure that day I slept on the couch. I don't remember why, but I slept on the couch, and I'm laying on the couch, but my direct focus, like my vision, is on that cabinet, and it's all those clowns and porcelain dolls, and they're just looking. I was waiting for one of them to be like, beep, beep, Richie. We all float. Oh, man. It was some scary shit, dude. Tina says, was Annabelle in the cabinet? Could have been. Could have been. I don't know. But yeah, that one was pretty creepy. You know, again, growing up and everything else, but my parents allowed it. And it was just because they wanted us, they didn't want us to be afraid, you know? Like, they wanted, of course, we had that fear and stuff, but they wanted us to know that, you know, what we were watching was make believe. Until I get older and, you know, I find out that The Exorcist, I was like, what? Like, all of those types of movies, man. Those are crazy movies. But they're ones that I enjoy greatly. I might watch that tonight. Devine says, here's Chucky. Yeah, that was another one. Dude, a cousin of mine had a doll that looked like Chucky. It looked like a My Buddy doll. And he used to scare my little brother with it. I was like, oh my God. He's like, it's Chucky. And we'd both be like, ah. Oh man, it was the funniest stuff. Don says, oh my God, my customers are all in rare form tonight. It's going to be one of those nights. Is it a full moon? I don't know. No, it's not. It's not. But sometimes it feels like it, right? So the other reason I bring this stuff up too is because, so my son Logan, who's 18 now, he was about 5, maybe 4 or 5, I think. And I wanted to show him Thriller. No, I want to put this question in here. I'm just typing this in. There it is. So, oh, Shannon says, my dad had a ventriloquist doll, scared the hell out of me. Oh, dude. Like fucking Howdy Doody? Well, yeah, those are creepy as shit too. Yeah. So, Thriller. Like Michael Jackson's Thriller. Any of you, 1, watch it as a kid. 2, show your kids it. Not it, but Thriller. When they were younger. Or 3, like your siblings, like younger siblings. Shannon says, yes, just like that. So I did the same thing. I showed not my siblings. I showed Logan when he was younger because I thought, okay, I'm just going to talk him through it. Because what I want, because he loved the music and the song. What I wanted to do was get to the point where they show the 3 zombies who are like popping and locking and breakdancing and shit, because it looks cool, right? So, so I went to show him, and I was telling him, look, he's gonna start like morphing into this werecat, like it's gonna look crazy and stuff, but it's fake. It's just it's nothing. It's fine. Dude, he was freaked out. And then I had to like fast forward till it got to the part that I really wanted to show him, but by that time he was just it was not good. So every time I would play the song, he would trip out to be like, no, I don't want to hear it. It would be to the point where even when he got a little older, like we would joke about it, but I would start going dun 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 chicka ticka picka ticka chicka dun 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 chicka ticka picka dun 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 dun, and he'd go, stop. Now it's fine. But like with Lola, who's 10, when she was the same age, I decided to do something different because I wanted her to see it as well. And because she loved the music, she loved the song, and we were talking about it, and she really wanted to watch it. So as Tim mentions here, the making of it, that's what I did first. And I should have done that for Logan too, but I didn't. So for Lola, we watched that documentary first. And they showed, all the wires and everything on his hands for when he's looking at it and he's, morphing into the werecat and how they did the mask and all that other stuff. So then when we watched the actual movie, because it really was like a short movie, right? Every one of those videos that he would do, Michael Jackson had these videos that were basically movies, John Landis of, what is it? Werewolf in London, right? He was the one who directed Thriller. That's where the whole werecat thing came from. Like Michael Jackson was a huge fan of that, and so they brought him in to do it. So we watched the whole thing, and then when we got to the actual movie, she was fine. She was all about it. She was just like, wow, that's amazing how they show that. And I thought, man, this is way different than when I showed Logan. I should have showed him the same way. Oh man, it's so funny. But I mean, those are some of the learning things, right? That's the stuff that we learn about. Oh shit. So I want to switch now to a different story here. And I got to ask. I think I did this before, but there's a lot of newer people here as well, so I want to ask again. So growing up, what job did you have? So Jessica here says there used to be a show on Sci-Fi Channel called Face Off. It was special effects makeup. Oh, I remember that. Yes, special effects makeup artists completing tasks and challenges. The looks mostly resembled those in Thriller horror type. My eldest would flip when they showed the morphing in photos. Yes. Yep. I feel you. Yeah. That was a good show though. I remember that when they came out with it. That was really good. Sci-Fi Channel is awesome, man. They always had some good stuff on there. Tim says we learn with the second kid. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because, the first, sometimes the first and second are kind of guinea pigs for certain things. And then you get it and you pick it up. But it's always an adventure, right? It's always fun. So the next question in here, growing up, what job did you have? Tim says worked at a pet store and then Radio Shack. Oh, snaps. You worked at a Radio Shack, yo? And for all I know, some of the times that I would visit in the state, I might have been there playing on the keyboards. I would always be in a Radio Shack or somewhere else where there was a keyboard, and I would be playing the Axel Foley song from Beverly Hills Cop. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Tina says McDonald's. All right. Right on. Let's see. Shannon says when I was 16, I got my first job as a picker in a warehouse. All right. See, Carrie says Blockbuster. Dawn says, is that beer? No, it is not. It is LaCroix. Sparkling water. This is orange flavor. It's actually really good. And I also have Smart Water. No beer. Still dry. Going on 4 years now. All right, let's see. James says, I wanted to be Roy or Johnny from Emergency, Squad 51. I ended up being Samuel Lanier, the dispatcher, instead. Wait, did you have a different response, dude? Didn't I read it? I just read it. Again, Carrie says Blockbuster. Yep, I worked at Blockbuster as well. I was 18 and I was there for a couple of months, and they made me one of the managers. But so growing up, and I wanted to know about this because I've got a story, and this was a lesson that I learned. Again, I've shared this story before, but I wanted to share it again. It also kind of leads to things that happen law enforcement wise, in the car that I had. So, excuse me. Growing up, and I had to have been about 13, maybe. I remember one summer, my parents asked me about clothes, clothes and such for school. And I remember being like, oh, I want, this type of pants or, whatever. And I also, what? Shannon says, oh shit, Ricardo got arrested. No, no, no. I got close. I'll explain. Um, so again, I'm 13 and Don says, I saw kombucha and thought of you the other day. I don't know anyone besides you who drinks it. I love me some kombucha. I definitely do. James says, sorry, I was concerned the comment moved out of the viewing area. No. I saw it. I wanted to make sure to read it because that was funny. So I told my parents, I was like, I want this type of, I was thinking of getting this type of jeans, this branded shirt, or I don't know, whatever, because I was into a lot of sports and everything during that time too. And basically wanted Nike everything pretty much. And, I think it was also during the time of the And One shirts that were coming out. But of course, also some Jordans. And as we know, Jordans are expensive, even more so now, but they were back in the 90s, the early 90s. And I remember my parents saying to me, okay, yeah. No, you can get that stuff. And I was like, oh, for real? They're going to let me go ahead and get this stuff? But there was a catch. There always is, right? There's always a catch. So my parents said to me, if that's the stuff that you want, you're going to have to work for it. And we're going to take you to do what we did as kids. And I remember specifically saying, oh, whatever you guys did as kids, I can do as well. I should not have said that. Because we woke up at 5 a.m. and drove about an hour and a half south from where we lived to go pick blueberries. No shit. That was my first official job, picking blueberries. Let me tell you, it was not fun. It was not easy. And I did that for the whole summer, and it sucked balls, dude. It sucked, and it was super hot out there. And I remember asking my parents, I said, what, or how, when do we get paid? Like, do we get paid daily? They're like, no, you get paid at the end of the week. And I said, are we making like hourly pay? And they're like, no, you're getting paid per full bucket. I was like, what? Talk about learning a lesson, dude. Yeah. Which I love my parents for that too, though. because that's where I get my work ethic from. And that shit was hard. It was super hard. Because we would get there about 7 o'clock in the morning and we wouldn't leave until 7 at night. There was 12 hours, man. It was 12 straight hours. Check you later, Don. We'll see you next week. It was 12 hours of being out there. And of course, there was a lunch break and stuff. But the funny thing, and I joke with my mom about it now, and if she's in the audience right now, she would probably say as well, like, he's telling the truth, like, for real. So we would have bologna sandwiches, okay, and chips, drinks, whatever, for our lunch break. We'd be sitting under the shade. However, there would be times that we didn't have the bologna. They would be hot dogs split in half and on a sandwich. And I remember the first time biting into the sandwich and being like, this isn't bologna. What is this? And I opened up and I see the hot dog split in half on there. And I remember looking at my mom and saying, why are we eating hot dog sandwiches? And she's like, it's the same thing. If you're really hungry, you're going to eat it. And I said, you're correct. I am hungry and I'm going to eat it. Oh, man. Carrie says, my dad made split hot dog sandwiches. Okay, good. I'm not the only one then. I'm not the only one. Shannon says, hot dog sandwich. It was the craziest thing, man. Yes. Yeah. Hot dog sandwich. And I worked my ass off that entire summer. Oh, Tim says I still make them. All right. Awesome. Nathan's hot dogs, right? Those are really good. So at the end of the summer, okay, I had all of that money saved. And I remember my parents saying, okay, it's time. Devine said, did you ever have fried bologna? Yes. Fried bologna is the shit. I'm down with that. I'm definitely down with that. They told me, they're like, it's time. Like we're going to take you out to like the outlets and stuff, and you can go buy, the stuff that you wanted to buy. I did not buy one thing that I originally said that I wanted. Why? Because it was my own fucking money. Because I learned a lesson. I didn't buy those shoes. I didn't buy those clothes. I bought tons of clothes and a couple pairs of shoes. And I think the couple pairs of shoes were Nikes, but they were nothing like Jordans or anything else. And they were real Nikes. They weren't, fake ones. They weren't Snikes. They were real Nikes. But I learned a lesson, man. I learned a lesson enough that it took me 37 years. I was 37 or 36. One of those two. To finally get a pair of Jordans. And even then, that first pair, I say first pair because I've purchased a few now. But that first pair was a Christmas present from my brother. That's how much of a lesson I learned. So thank you, Mom. Thank you. And thank you, Dad. Let's see, Carrie says it's a lot harder to spend that when you work so hard for it. Yes. Yeah, for sure. And also during that time, I had a car. I mean, I was 13 and I had a car. I got it for my birthday. But the whole one side of that car, which was a 1983 jet black Z28 Camaro cross fuel injection, rather, with T-tops, and it had the Chevy emblems encrusted in it. Oh, love that car. Love that car. I was also saving money to help fix it. And then, like, later on in that car, it didn't matter. Like I was always getting pulled over. So I did not get arrested. No. And when I say I almost got arrested, that was because I didn't have my license on me one time. It was my senior year in high school, and I had left from school to go to it was a couple cities south of where I was at. And I was going to go get my senior pictures done. Well, my wallet, I had left it in my jacket because I changed. I had basketball practice, I think it was something like that, and I had changed there at school, and I had left my wallet in that jacket. So when I left to go get my pictures done, I was straight up dressed up, had this nice leather jacket. I also had a cell phone, which was like a brick Nokia. You know what I'm talking about, and a pager. Because my parents, if they couldn't get me on the phone, they would get me on the pager, and then I would call them. Well, being 17, going into 18, driving that type of car, and dressed the way I was, well, I ended up getting pulled over. And I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. I got pulled over. I was driving southbound on the highway, was driving the speed, but I was listening to the music loud, and I was bassing, and I was listening to NWA, and it was the song F the Police. I was listening to the whole album. It just happened to be that song that was playing when I passed 3 troopers. They were going the opposite way, but there was no way, like they weren't close enough to be able to hear any of that. But I'm driving, my little brother is riding shotgun, and he's asleep because we just got out of school. So he's taking a nap. You know, where I'm going is not close to where we were at. So he had plenty of time to take a nap. Well, I look in the rearview mirror, and there's the officers. And then, woo! I was like, oh my God. And I go to pull over, but they like went around me and like pushed me to the, not pushed me to the side, but, you know, like led me to the side. and I ended up, the officer asked me, I remember he asked me for my license, and I went to get it, and I was like, oh, it was one of those like complete pucker factor. Okay. And I'm sitting there, and I thought, what do I do? And I look at the officer, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have it on me. And I went to explain, and he's like, you need to get out of the car. I was like, oh no. I said, it's in my jacket. I was like, I forgot it. And he goes, well, I need to look in your car and stuff. And I'm standing in back of the car, and the other officers are there just like watching, you know, because they're back up and stuff. And I'm freaking out. And, you know, he's searching me, and he pulls out the cell phone and then the pager. And in my head, immediately, I'm like, this dude thinks I'm a drug dealer. I know it. And he goes, how old are you? I was like, I'm going to be 18 in like a month. And he goes, huh, okay. I was like, why do you have this stuff? I mean, the car that you're driving, the way you're dressed. I was like, I'm going to get my senior pictures done, man. I swear. and he's like, are you sure you're not like dealing drugs? I was like, you can check the car, dude. I was like, no, I don't do that. And and I said, I know, you know, it seems odd because I'm 17, I'm dressed, I've got this sweet leather jacket on, I've got this Camaro. and he goes, what's wrong with the guy that's in the car? Is he drugged up? And I was like, no, man. I was like, that's my little brother. We just got out of school, and he's asleep. And he's like, all right, just wait right here. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, then he opens the door, and my brother falls out of the car and onto the ground. And as soon as he hits the ground, like, and my jaw, so that picture that I showed earlier where my jaw is dropped, that's basically the same look I had. Because I can't believe this is going on. And the fact that my brother fell out, I was like, this is not good. So he falls out, lands on the ground, and the officer goes, "Get up right now!" And he jumps up and he goes, "Get over there with your brother." And my brother comes over by me and he's like, "What's going on, man?" I was like, "I don't know, dude. We got pulled over." So the officer says, I'm gonna search your car. He goes, "Is there anything in here that should not be in here?" And without skipping a beat, I said, "No, man, there's nothing in there. But if you find anything, the car's my dad's." I said, "It's under his name." And you could tell that the officer wanted to laugh because he was like, you could see it in his face, and he couldn't talk for a moment. And he's like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna look." So for all I know, man, for all I know, that officer got into the car and just started busting up laughing. It was I laugh about it now, but back then I was freaking out. So they end up telling us to get back in the car and stuff, and he's like, I'll be right back." I'm like, "All right." And we're waiting in the car, and I'm just thinking, I can't believe this happened. And the officer comes back up and he gives me a citation. I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "I wasn't speeding." And he goes, "No, no, no, no." He goes, "This is called a fix-it ticket." And I said, "Well, what do I need to fix?" And he goes, "Well, you've got tint, like dark tint around your windows. And in the state of Michigan, that's not allowed." I mean, I don't know if it's still like that now. But back then, if you could have tint like on the hatch or a back window. You could have them on the side windows, but it could only be half. Okay. And of course, the windshield could not be tinted at all. If it was anything, it could be that little strip that's up on the very top. Otherwise, nothing else. And I had recently got that tint, and as he was getting ready to leave, he goes, "I just want to tell you one last thing." He goes, "The reason we pulled you over originally is because your vehicle and everything matches a description of a drug dealer that we were looking for, the three of us." He goes, "So just be safe, but also just to let you know, it's a misdemeanor to not be driving with your license." He goes, "I could arrest you for that." Which, Shannon, that's why I said almost got arrested, but I didn't get arrested. It was just a warning. And I was like, I'm sorry, I left it over there." And he's like, "All right, have a good one." So, we left. And when I got back home, I told my parents what had happened. And they're like, "Oh man, that's crazy." Well, that's what you get for not having your license on you. Basically, so my dad is like the Mexican Red, Red, the dad from that 70s show. So it was basically him being like, "That's what you get for being a dumbass." So the next day, get this, the next day, I go to my eye doctor appointment, and I'm telling my eye doctor this story, and he and I are just dying laughing. And he goes, "So you have to take the tint off?" He goes, "How much was that?" I was like, "I don't know." I said, "I saved my money for it though." And I didn't know. I was like, you'd think that the people who put it on there would have known. And he goes, "Well, let me see what I can do." So he leaves, right? And he comes back, with a slip of paper that I still have. I still have it. And the only reason I still have it is because, I mean, it's just part of the story. It's part of my story. So that slip of paper was a doctor's note saying that I needed the tint for my eyes because I wear glasses. And I really did, but he goes, "Well, just see what if that helps out." So I go to the state police post later that day with my dad, and that one trooper is there, and the the lieutenant is there. And we give them the fix-it ticket, and they're like, "Did you take the tint off?" And I was like, "No, there's this note from my doctor's office, from the eye doctor." And they read it, and they ripped up the citation, and they're like, "Be on your way." Yes. Oh man, such crazy stuff that happened with that car, man. Like, so many crazy things happened with that car, and I miss it so much. But that car, years later, was stolen by a group of meth heads. Haven't found it since. Oh man. And the crazy thing though, full circle, is where that car was stolen from was my dad's property. That was close to the area where I used to pick blueberries. Oh man, it's so crazy. Ugh. Shannon says totally going to try that. You never know. I mean, it could work. It worked back then. So who knows? It might work now. Ah, well, thank you all very much for joining and listening. Um, I got one more story that I want to tell you really quick before I sign off here. So this story has to do with a car crash. It was a car crash that I was in when I was dispatching in Florida. And I was riding shotgun in this car. I was with my cousin. And we were driving, and I mean there's kind of a funny part to this towards the end, but it's just funny to think sometimes that basically what I'm going to get at here is just always live your life to the fullest, because you never know, right? There's a lot of things that happen in the world, and we just don't know. So if you ever want to do something, if you are looking at, starting something new, don't wait. Do it now. You don't want to end up being older, or whatever, years from now, sitting there thinking, shit, I should have done this when I had the chance. You don't want that regret. You want to be that person years from now, which is what I want to be. The person years from now saying, hell yeah, I did that. I did it. And I have no regrets. I lived. And some things might not work out, but you learn from it. So this time, we're on the highway. It just rained, and we had a puddle. Started spinning 360 style, man. And I remember praying, like, please help us get through this. And as we're spinning, I remember my cousin saying, don't worry, I got this. And at one point, because this is a little small car that we're in, at one point, we are up on only 2 wheels spinning down into a ditch and up a hill. And then we land right side up. Had we not, shit, I might not be here right now, or we might have been hurt really bad. But I remember that after we landed and we sat there for a minute, I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you for helping us through that. And we ended up driving onto the highway, onto the side of the highway there. And one tire was blown. Now, some cars stopped. But once they saw that we were moving, they're like, later, I guess you're okay. And they took off. So we end up putting the spare on there, and we turn around and we start taking off the other direction from where we were going originally, so that we could get to a cousin's house that was close by. Now, here's the thing. As we're driving, the passenger front tire ends up popping. And we're riding on the rim, and there's just sparks just flying next to me. And I remember calling one of the officers that I worked with, and I said, if you get a phone call about a car with sparks all over the place, 1, let me know, and 2, that's us. And she goes, are you guys okay? I was like, yeah, we're fine. I was like, it's just the car is destroyed and we're trying to drive it. We're on the side of the road going like 5 miles per hour. And we finally made it. We finally made it there. And I remember I remember that once we got there, we called my mom to come and get us. And I remember saying to my cousin, I was like, dude, what are you gonna tell your parents? Now, this is the funny part. I said, what are you gonna tell your parents, man? And he goes, I'm just gonna tell them that we hit a dog. And I said, dude, the entire back like axle is snapped in half. The only dog that would be able to do that damage is fucking Clifford. And I was like, there's no way they're gonna believe that, but if they do, and more power to you, man. But the other reason I tell you this is because the next day, everything I did throughout that day was the most amazing thing ever. What I ate was amazing. What I drank was amazing. But it's because I was alive. And just like that incident with the plane, when I got off of that plane, that hamburger that I had after that incident was the most amazing thing I'd ever had. And it's moments like that, which I don't recommend you having moments like that. But what I'm saying is that it's moments like that that put life into perspective and really push you to do what it is that you want to do. So take it from me. If you want to do something, do it, because the time is now. Thank you all very much for joining me tonight for Open Mic Live. This has been a lot of fun with you. I love coming on here every Thursday, sometimes on Saturdays, to share personal stories like this or funny 911 stories and funny news stories, all of that type of stuff. Thank you for the job that you do. We all appreciate it. Thank you for your service. It has been awesome tonight. And this live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital Rapid Deploy as well as Carbine. And if you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that is wttpodcast@gmail.com. And this can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And you can follow us on Twitter. That is @911podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/withinthetrenchespodcast. If you're looking for any bonus material, you can check us out and support us. And that's patreon.com/WTT podcast. Also next week, Tuesday, we have a media partner spotlight with RQI. Make sure to join in for that. That's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then the next day, we've got the Dispatchers Roundtable, round 30. And I'm going to have some panelists with me on there. That one's an exclusive Carbine Dispatchers Roundtable. We're going to be talking about, tips, tricks, but also the keys to successfully implement new public safety technologies. If you have any comments or anything that you want to read, or you're going to be there to ask questions or whichever, again, make sure to join us. That's going to be on Wednesday, and that is the 29th. That'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to check us out for that. So we've got a jam-packed schedule next week. Episodes of the flagship show, a bunch of stuff that's going to be coming out. So make sure to check out for that. And then for patrons only, a perk is audio versions of the DRT as well as Open Mic Live. So this episode, an audio version will go out to patrons as well. And then for the flagship show Within the Trenches podcast, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.